Hey everybody, Tony and Sarah Zalecki. Hello, how's everybody
What's
doing?
up?
What's happening? How are ya? How you doing today?
Feeling great.
Awesome, I'm feeling great too. So, hey guys, if you are brand new, do me a huge favor. You are gonna definitely wanna type in new so we can give you some love. If you are watching the replay, go ahead and type in replay. And if you're live, do us a favor. Drop us in the comments. Let us know where you are watching live from. We hope you guys are having a great Monday as we are. So hi Pamela, hi Michelle. Great to see everybody on here today. And guys, we are going to talk about standing out. If you are somebody that you're like, man, there is a lot of noise that's on social media. There's a lot of things happening on here. How the heck do I get people to pay attention to me? You are going to want to pay attention to this live. So we're going to walk you guys through something super simple. It's going to be one of those things that you're going to kind of have an aha moment and be like, oh my gosh, I cannot even believe you guys are talking about this. And I know that it's probably not the V word that you think it is. You're going to be kind of like, what? But hey, Alyssa. Hi,
Hey,
Cindy
Dixie,
and Kathy.
Minnesota.
Lots of people jumping on.
Calgary, Linda.
Yeah, Calgary, Canada. Some
Hey,
Canadians
Jesse, what's
on.
happening?
Oh, yeah,
Bonnie.
Ontario. Cool.
Melinda, what's happening?
So, guys, we want to go ahead and we're going to talk about this topic because if you're somebody that you're like, I need to stand out, drop me some ones. I know that was us because I was like, man, how do I get someone to pay attention to what we're talking about? And how do I get people to pay attention to just like all this stuff, right, that's happening on social media? And so we wanted to give you guys just a really, really simple thing when it comes to standing out. And so our whole thing, guys, is that we're going to talk about really one simple thing that, quite frankly, all of us already have. Frazier!
What's happening?
So we're going to talk about one thing that all of us already have. We already have it, but for most of us, we're scared to actually use it. And it's a big deal.
And it's the number one way to grow your following.
Totally. So if you're someone that you're like, I want to grow my following, this is definitely how you're going to do it. It's not about, I don't know, finding the right groups, running the right Facebook ads, doing whatever. It's about this simple thing. It's only one thing, and it's a skill that doesn't have to be learned. If that excites you, drop me a 2. If it's something that you actually don't have to learn in network marketing, right, the better. I think for a lot of us, it's like, oh my gosh, there's so much stuff that we have to learn, which is great. But sometimes we feel like, man, my learning curve, this is taking a little bit longer. And so this piece is really going to help you guys really take off your learning curve. I mean, some of you guys, you're going to be able to apply this immediately into your business. And you're going to be like drastic results. I mean, we're going to be seeing it all through social media, and it's going to be really cool to see it. So let's go into it. Let's talk about it.
Yep, that word. Let me give you the word, babe, before you start.
Okay.
It's vulnerability.
Yes, it's called vulnerability, right? I think for a lot of us, we think we know what it is. We've heard of it. Sometimes we do it. We're afraid to do it, right? And so, guys, I think for all of us, the whole thing, I saw a really cool thing on Facebook, or actually on TV. I never even watched TV, but it was on TV last night, and it was actually a Facebook ad or Facebook commercial. And it was talking about how, going back to really what made Facebook so incredible in the beginning was about the connection, right? And at the end of the day, that's the reason that we're all here. We're all here because of connection, right? We all want to be connected. And so it's going back to being vulnerable. And, I think for a lot of people, if you look at the word vulnerable, right? If you look up in the dictionary, like the definition of it, right? And it's so interesting because for a lot of us, it's like, being vulnerable, it has to do with just being okay with being real, right? Being wholehearted, like just being able to be okay with you imperfectly, right? And showing up as you imperfectly. And I think for a lot of us, it's hard for us to really be seen, right? At a deep level, and being able to have that courage to just be us, right? And it's cool because I'm really into like meanings of words, right? I'm not a wordsmith. I kind of am like a wannabe wordsmith, right? But it's like the word courage, like the first part, right? Cur actually means heart, right? And so it's about being able to tell your story, with your whole heart, right? And so I think, for us, it's like being able to be vulnerable when you're doing a live, being able to be vulnerable when you're doing a post, being able to be vulnerable constantly, right, will attract so many people to be connected with you, right? And so I think for a lot of us, it's like, the reason that we're not vulnerable is maybe we're not vulnerable because, I don't know, we feel shame, we feel fear, right? And so
could be too cool, like I was.
Yeah, and if we have that fear, it's like we have that fear of like not feeling connected with someone, right? Not feeling worthy. And so it's, I think for a lot of us, it's just learning how to understand like this is a good thing. But also too, when you are vulnerable, I think a lot of times people think, well, hey, when I'm vulnerable, that means people are going to find out like, it's not about being a victim, right? It's not about saying, hey, here's all my garbage and just laying it out. But it is being vulnerable to say, hey, listen, this was my story. This is what I went through. Here's the crap, but here's how I made it better, right? So it's not just about like just barfing all this stuff. It's literally saying, hey, this is how I got better through all of this, right? And so understanding, as we always say, what?
Your message is in your mess.
Exactly.
And
exactly.
From a male standpoint, right? Like, we're strong. Men are strong. How many of you can relate with this, ladies? Mm-hmm. Drop me a 3 if you know what I'm talking about. Your man is strong. Mm-hmm. And here's the thing. I always thought, like, I couldn't, like, show that side of me. I couldn't like cry. I couldn't go and really tell my story and really share it with people and really connect with people, because if I'm not strong all the time, if I'm not this rock, if I'm not this perfect human being as a man, guess what's going to happen? People won't like me. People won't relate with me. People won't, bring me into their world. And that's why it took me so long to tell my story. That's why it took me so long to get it out to the world and really be vulnerable and really tell people. Heck, I was an addict for 10, 15 years. I struggled with that. And, I hid it well, but I struggled deep down inside. It just crippled me. But once I told that story and once I got it out there, it was like this big weight off my shoulders, and I just told the world everything. And I just said, here's what happened. And this is who Tony is. And one thing I know is this, is you all of us, we have our own unique style. None of us are the same. That's what makes us so powerful and so special and so incredible. And, I think about being credible today, right? And the 3 things I talk about, what makes you credible and have influence, is really your connection with somebody every single day, or with masses of people. Sharing stuff that helps people, right? And doing that over a consistent period of time gives you credibility and influence. And if you're sharing your real self, and if you're not like lying, just copying other people, or just saying what people want to hear, or not really connecting with who you really are with that individual, you're being a disservice to a lot of people. Not only yourself, but people you could be helping, people you could be inspiring. People need to hear your mess in your message so that they can really have hope and be inspired to go out there and do it themselves.
Yeah, and I think the more imperfect that we are, the better, right? It's like, sometimes people ask me, oh my gosh, if I'll type something and they're like, hey, you spelled that wrong. And I'm like, hey, that's okay, right? How many of you guys have some like grammar Nazis in our house, right? But it's like, it's okay, like, for it not to be perfect all the time. Like, because people can relate to that. And it's okay to say, hey, this is what I was going through. These are the things that happened, but look what happened on the other side of that. And so I think that it's so important for all of us to know that, like, the more people that they can relate to you, like, I mean, with Tony's story, here's the thing. For so long with Tony, I just, like, guys, we went through a lot of challenges, right? I mean, we went through a lot of challenges where I was like, man, this guy has so much potential, but, like, he just has this just awful addiction, right? Some of you guys know what I'm talking about. You've gone through it. You're related to people that have gone through it, whatever it may be. And so I was just like, man, there's this incredible guy inside of him. And it was so hard because people would know Tony. And this is what people would always say, man, Tony's so nice. He's such a nice guy. But yet they didn't really know Tony, right? Because he wasn't being able to be vulnerable and say, hey guys, here is all my crap. Yeah. And this is all the crap that I went through. But here's the thing I got to tell you is that there is massive hope, because this is the other side of where I've been, right? It's like, getting ready to celebrate, is it 8 or 9 years? 8-year sobriety, right? I mean, that's a freaking big deal. And the thing is every time he shares his message now, guess what happens? When he shares his message, there are hundreds of people that message him, that reach out to him and say, you know what? Dude, I'm tired of pushing my crap, underneath the carpet and the rug anymore. Like, I'm tired of that. Like, I want to live all out like you. I'm ready to deal with my crap, or someone that is a spouse that maybe has a partner that's going through that. Hey, Tony, my son is going through that right now, or this is what's happening, or this is what's happening. And so that thing, guys, the piece that so many of us, we want to hide behind and say, I don't want anyone to know it. They need to know that in a way, not to say, oh, woe is Tony, but for Tony to be like, hey, this is me and this is how I'm showing up, is the reality that it inspires thousands of people to go and go, you know what? I need to own up to my crap.
Yep.
I need to push through on this. I can be better and I can live a better life. You just have to make that choice. And so I think for all of us, the couple of things that we're holding back on, the stories we don't want to tell because we feel shameful or whatever it may be for the silliest reasons. Because the reality is, you guys all know, all of your stories, all the things you don't want to talk about, most people are going through them too. Right? It's not like we all have this one crazy story that nobody in the world can relate to, right? Everybody can relate to it. So understand that by you holding back, there are so many people that are dying to hear that message. By you holding back, it's like not shining that flashlight in the corner for someone to be able to see that light. By you holding back, right, it's that message of people that they need to hear that hope. And so we want to encourage you guys today to be like, you know what, I'm going to unlock that big vault of stories of being vulnerable and not, vulnerability, guys. It's just like, gosh, just doing the thing no matter what without a guarantee of flopping in any area, right? Or people saying different things or whatever it may be, but just being able to have the courage enough, right, to live, right, to be able to tell a story wholeheartedly, imperfectly, right? Imperfection, I can't even say that right. Imperfectly.
Imperfectly.
Oh my God. See what I'm saying? So it's okay. I'm being vulnerable right now. So
radical authenticity right there, baby.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, so we love you guys. We thought this was a really important message to get out there. We see so many people trying to seeing all these different people on social media and having to be perfect. And it's like, guys, people don't want to see that. They want to see you. They need to see a new story, a new perspective, something fresh, something that's new. And the best way to do that is to tell your guys' story. So we love you guys. We encourage you guys to share this out and hopefully give you guys some great value and encourage you to be vulnerable and get out there and share your message. So talk to you soon, guys.
See you guys.
Take care.
Have an awesome day.